All right, everybody, welcome into another live edition of the Patriots Beat Podcast here on the CLNS Media Network. I am Mike Cadlick from CLNS Media, joined, as always, by 98.5 The Sports Hub's Alex Barth. We are here and we are back for yet another Thursday mock draft, the last Thursday mock draft of mock draft season. We're going to have one more for you coming next Tuesday, but this is the last Thursday one. We've gone pretty basic, I guess, over the last several. No real stipulations. But we wanted to throw something different into the mix here. And so after Matt Groh's comments when he spoke on Tuesday, he told reporters down at Gillette Stadium that so he was asked about adding speed to the roster once again after last year with Tyquan Thornton and things of that nature. And basically what he said was,
by the way, is something he specifically, he was like, we wanted to get faster, so we picked the fastest players. That's what he said.
Right. And so the catch here, so what he said this year was, I don't think you can be fast enough. So we're going to listen to him. We're going to make it obvious, or we're going to make it realistic. We're not going to go and draft we're not going to draft Anthony Richardson. We're going to keep it Patriots centric, but we want speed.
The way we're going to do it, and I'll retweet this on my Twitter right now at Real Alex Barth. Actually, I'll throw the link in the chat too. Why not?
Cool.
So Gross said that, and I'm like, yeah, they've been drafting combine guys. This makes a lot of sense. So the way I look at it, right, they're targeting speed. So I couldn't get it out of my head. I went through, and I pulled just the top 5 fastest 40 players at each position in the draft. And what we're going to do tonight is we're going to mock from that group. But those are the only players we can take. So I get it. A lot of us like Paris Johnson. Can't take him tonight. A lot of us like Zay Flowers. Can't take him tonight.
Yep.
A lot of us like DeJuan Jones. He is not on the board. It is the 5 fastest. Corner at 6 because there were 2 spots that were tied. But besides that, 5 fastest players at each position. That's who's available to us. And we're going to see what we can do from there.
We're going to roll from there. We're going to be fast, Alex. We're going to be fast as hell in 2023.
So, people might remember this too. Last year, we do one of these every year. The first year we did it, we did rapid fire. We did 5 mock drafts where we could only take players from one conference. So we did an SEC draft, we did a Big 10 draft, we did a Big 12 draft. That confused the hell out of people because they came in halfway through the show and we were still in the first round. They didn't understand why we were taking certain players. So that didn't work. Last year, we tried only players with an elite RAS score, relative athletic score. That was better. It's just really hard to find a list of all those players available. So who knows what it'll be next year? Maybe it'll be this again, maybe not. But keep in mind, and for those, please remind the people joining late because they're going to be very confused when certain players are on the board and we say we cannot take them. Keep in mind, it is, and it's in the chat there, the list on my Twitter at Real Alex Barth, and I just retweeted it.
I retweeted it as well, so you can check it out.
The only players we can draft are players who are the 5 fastest at their position. Why don't we do the news of the day, and then I'll read off what essentially, basically, we have a draft board, like the Patriots.
Yes, exactly.
These are the guys we're giving draftable grades. So let's do the news of the day, and then I'll read through our draft board, and then we'll get into it.
Yep, we will do news of the day because 2 things happened in Patriots land today. But I want to mention first that this podcast is sponsored by FanDuel, so make sure to head to FanDuel.com/Boston. You get $200 in bonus bets. All you got to do is deposit 10, bet 5, and you can bet with us all the time, all Patriots season, all playoff season. Malcolm Brogdon's the 6th man of the year. The Celtics are up 2-0. That's good stuff. Bruins knocked one down the other day, last night, but you can bet on them, FanDuel.com/Boston. Join us there. You get $200 in bonus bets. So let's do the news of the day, Alex, before we get into our mock draft. And we'll just go in chronological order, and we will start with Will Levis. The Patriots worked out Will Levis yesterday, quarterback from Kentucky, projected first-round pick in the NFL draft. Personally, I don't think anything of it. It's you can't look too far into these. They do these pre-draft meetings to get sort of a feel for how guys think, whether they could be potentially facing Will Levis down the line, whether he's an AFC guy, with Indianapolis or maybe Houston, one of these teams. So, look, if Will Levis were to fall to pick 14, I think the Patriots would trade out. If he were to fall to 10, I don't think they're trading up for Will Levis. I just don't see the fit.
Yeah.
I understand. They go out and they visit with these guys. It was the last day to do so. Maybe it's to throw the scent off something else. I don't know. But Will Levis to the Patriots is not going to happen.
Mike, they met with Trey Tucker today. He's an explosive kick returner. They might hate Miles Bryant. Like, you got to take the meeting. No, I'm obviously not high on Levis. People who watch the show know that. But I think specifically when it comes to the Patriots, I'm not going to say they won't take him, because last year was a massive departure from every draft trend. And massive, I mean repeatedly. This would be, as a single pick, as much of a departure as last year's entire draft was. Yeah. He's everything Mac Jones isn't, pretty much. He's the exact opposite. He's very athletic, but his throwing motion is inconsistent. His footwork is erratic. His touchdown to interception ratio is less than 2-1. He turns the ball over a ton. He's not very experienced. He only threw 500 passes last 2 years combined. There are some guys that throw 500 passes in a season. He's in a very quarterback-friendly offense. For him to succeed, he needs to go to like a Shanahan-style system that is going to allow him to use his legs both in the passing game and the running game, and is going to make it as paint by number for him. And Bill O'Brien's offense could not be more opposite. Mike, I actually tried pulling this up today on Catch 22, and I couldn't find it. What were Bill O'Brien's 3 things for a quarterback again? Do you remember off the top of your head?
Yeah, I tweeted it out when
whatever they are, they line up perfectly with the negatives in Will Levis' scouting report. When I hear people say they like Will Levis, what I hear is, oh, look at him. Oh, he's running around. He's running away from defenders. Oh, look how far he threw the ball. Who caught it? Not important. Look how far it went.
Yeah, look how far. Look how fast it came out of his hand.
Right, exactly. And like, I get it. Teams see him and they think, well, this is what Josh Allen looked like coming out, so we'll just draft him and we'll get Josh Allen. That is discounting the fact of how much work, both from Josh Allen, the Bills coaching staff, the Bills front office staff, went into making Josh Allen Josh Allen. If every player that looked like Josh Allen coming out turned into Josh Allen, nobody would care about Josh Allen. He wouldn't be special, right? And by the way, he even told you that he needs to be more of a quarterback and less of an athlete. He said that this week. So if you're golden boy saying that,
Josh Allen said he's getting old.
Yeah, if your golden boy, he is in NFL years. If your golden boy saying that doesn't get it through your head, I don't know what will. It doesn't mean there's no path for Will Levis, but for everybody who thinks he's Josh Allen, for every Josh Allen, there are 20 Zach Wilsons. And I know a lot of the same could be said about Anthony Richardson, but I think that, one, there's a lot more flashes of upside in Anthony Richardson's game. I think he's more physically gifted. I just think he's a better prospect. I think there's a better chance that he hits. And here's where I come down to it with the Patriots. I don't think they should take a quarterback because, one thing about Will Levis is horrible against pressure. So if you're going to draft him instead of a tackle and put him behind this line, guess what? He's not going to look good. They need to address other issues around the quarterback, figure out if Mac Jones is the guy. If he is, great. If not, you draft the guy next year in a much better class who steps into a better situation than drafting guy this year would. If they are done with Mac and they want the lottery ticket quarterback, you do not go budget on a lottery ticket. That's such 1 foot in, 1 foot out logic. Oh, we want the guy that's totally make or break, but we're not willing to go all in for the make or break guy. They pick a side. If this is what they really want to do, and I don't think it is, I don't. If this is what they really want to do, sell the farm, trade up for Anthony Richardson. If you're going to do this, do it. That's what I would say about that.
I agree. I think you're right at that point. If you're going to go with the project, make the project Anthony Richardson, because he has a higher upside, and Levis is just, like you said, it's his high versus low is so astronomical. You just did it. Josh Allen versus Zach Wilson. I agree with you.
My real floor and kind of comp for Will Levis is, and for the record, I saw Will Levis 2 years ago in transfer to Kentucky. I watched him play, and I loved him. I thought, this is great. I can't wait until the Patriots draft this guy in the 5th round and turn him into Taysom Hill, because that's very much who I thought he was. He's improved as a passer since, but not nearly enough. I still don't see why he's a first-round pick. Mike Giardi tweeted out today there are multiple teams that don't have a first-round grade on him. I still just don't see it. I don't necessarily know that Anthony Richardson's a first-round pick either, but I could talk myself into that one a lot more. I think that the two of them are clearly below Young and Stroud, and then I think it's clearly Richardson. My big, bold draft prediction has been Hendon Hooker will go ahead of Will Levis. Shame on me for assuming NFL teams will be smart about the quarterback position. But, yeah, that's where I'm at with that.
Yeah, I'm with you. Let's get to the other news.
Yeah.
Matt Patricia is officially no longer
He's
a
gone.
staffer of the New England Patriots.
He is
He's gone. Sayonara. The disaster class that was the 2022 offense, you can officially put it behind us. Matt Patricia is now employed by the Philadelphia Eagles. He was hired today as a senior defensive assistant. It came out, interestingly enough, Tim McManus, I believe, from ESPN, Philly reporter, basically caught it off their website, saw that he was listed as the senior defensive assistant, and then they pulled it off the website. But Sirianni was asked about it. He said it's trending that way, and then Adam Schefter reported it. And so he is gone. Matt Patricia will help out the Philly defense after an appearance in the Super Bowl last year. Pretty ironic that he goes there after they put up 50 some odd points on him in a Super Bowl, and then, or 41 anyway, and then same thing goes with Darius Slay, is now a member of the Philadelphia Eagles. He just re-signed there, and they brought in Matt Patricia anyway. So thoughts on that whole thing going down today in Philly?
Not much. I didn't think he'd be back. I know it got kind of hairy there for a second. Eagles come to Gillette this year, unless that's the Germany game, but they're scheduled to come to Gillette. So we'll see if they put him on the sideline for that one. That could be fun.
Yeah.
That's pretty much my only take on that.
Yeah, I'm with you. But he's gone. We don't have to worry about him being in the building at all. Matt Patricia is
until the Eagles come here, but he'll be on the other side of the building.
Yes, you're right. Sure.
Yes.
All right, let's get into it. Patriots Beat Mock Draft 7.0, the speed draft.
So again, the qualifier here is we can only draft players who are ran a top 5 40 at their position. And I know 40 isn't pure speed and there's the 10-yard split and all that, but they drafted the fastest running back last year. They drafted the fastest receiver, and had Marcus Jones run his 40 at the combine, he probably would have been the fastest. Based on his pro day time, he would have been the fastest. Now, this does leave out pro day guys. It's an imperfect science, but it's a little experiment. So
the need for speed is what we're calling it.
Here is our draft board. Yes. Quarterbacks. Anthony Richardson, Max Duggan, Malik Cunningham, DTR, Clayton Tune. It's 5 fastest 40s from quarterbacks. Keep in mind, Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, those guys didn't run. Running backs, our running back board. Devin Achane, Jahmyr Gibbs, Keaton Mitchell, Deneric Prince, Chase Brown. Wide receivers is going to upset a lot of people. But Mike, these are the only 5 receivers we can take tonight. Trey Palmer, Darius Davis, Matt Landers, Marvin Mims, and Bryce Ford Wheaton.
Bryce Ford Wheaton, you are a Patriot.
Yeah, that is the qualifier tonight. 4 day 3 guys on that list. 1 late on day 2. Tight ends is going to annoy people as well. I'll tell you why in a second. Will Mallory, Zach Kuntz, Sam Laporta, Luke Musgrave, Luke Schoonmaker, Mike Darnell Washington ran the 6th fastest 40 of any tight end at the combine. So by, I think, like a 1/10 of a second or 2/10 of a second, Darnell Washington does not make our draft board for tonight.
And it was considered blazing speed because of how big he is. And it was a fast 40, but he did not make the top 5.
So this is where I may make an exception. I just used the combine position listing. They list all offensive linemen together.
Okay.
We might make exceptions for guards and tackles, depending on how this goes. But as of right now, Broderick Jones, Anton Harrison, Blake Freeland. So there are some familiar names there. Mm-hmm. Jordan McFadden and Braden Daniels. Defensive end, Nolan Smith, Byron Young from Tennessee, Robert Beal, DJ Johnson, Adetomiwa Adebawore. Defensive tackle, Kalijah Cansey, Jalen Redmond, Dante Stills, Brian Brzee, Javon Dexter. Linebacker, Owen Papo, Trenton Simpson, Yasir Abdullah, Dorian Williams, D. Winters. Cornerback, DJ Turner, Jacorian Bennett, Deontay Banks, Emmanuel Forbes, Keely Ringo, and Darius Rush. There's 2 ties in there, so we get 6 corners.
We're going to get a good cornerback.
Yes. At safety, Brandon Hill, Daniel Scott, Jartavius Martin, Sidney Brown, Jordan Howden. And only 2 specialists ran, so we can take either of these guys. Michael Turk and Alex Ward, the long snapper from UCF. Again, that list is up on my Twitter, and I put the link in the chat, so you can find it in there. But those are the you have it shared. Perfect.
Yes, I'm scrolling.
Those are the only guys we can take tonight. Nobody else is on. Maybe we might open it up to some other offensive linemen, just split guards and tackles, but we're still going to be limited there. These are the only guys we can take tonight.
Yep. So go check it out. That's on Alex's Twitter. You can check out our draft board there. And I suppose we're ready to roll.
Is it time to get started? All right. We kind of discussed this ahead of time. We want to make a lot of picks in this for the sake of the experiment. We're gonna have to give up like 4 picks to get Anthony Richardson. So we are gonna let the board go from there. So
are we gonna try and make trades, or are we just gonna keep our 11?
We can trade. We can trade, and honestly, we might need to. We might be on the board where there's nobody we can take. So
yeah, fair.
Trades are on the clock, but actually, I'm going to slow us down a little bit. We're not going to trade up for Anthony Richardson, but I'm not going to sit here and say I can be faster than that. All right. I'm not going to sit here and say we're not going to trade up because there's really only 2 guys we're going to consider in the first round. If one of them goes early, we might have to move up. Mm-hmm. And neither of them have gone. We're good. Okay. Neither of them went.
Okay.
So the 2 guys, and there have been times I've done mocks on PFF where both are gone. Were Broderick Jones and Nolan Smith.
Yep.
So the only other
guys. They breed them fast down there. Both Georgia guys. They make them quick down there.
The only other guys we can consider here realistically, the only other really projected first round picks, there's 3 of them. Kalijah Cansey and Brian Brzee. We're not going defensive tackle. And do we want to take Deonte Banks? Now,
that's another interesting one. The way, again, using our speed board.
Yeah.
There's so much more depth at corner for speed to go at later on.
We kind of want to save corner, right? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So do we want to... Oh, and Anton Harrison could... So actually, we could move back because we still have Broderick Jones. We still have Anton Harrison. We still have Nolan Smith. Mm-hmm. We could move back if we want. I don't think it would be impossible.
We could move back like 3 slots, pick up something extra
Who's
later.
Calling?
Yeah.
So we have the Ravens calling at 22. That might be a bit much. 17, like 80 for 14 probably gets it done. Should I try that?
Yeah, try it.
All right, let's see here. That gets it done. All right. So now we need to hope these next 3 picks aren't Broderick Jones, Anton Harrison, Nolan Smith.
Yeah.
In whatever order. I don't think they will be, but here we go.
All
right, so we lost Broderick Jones.
Okay.
So,
I think go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. The way I look at all these drafts too, it's let's use this to talk about more prospects as well, right? And so we've taken Anton Harrison before, we've taken Broderick Jones before. So
right.
And Nolan Smith, if they were to trade back and pick something else up, I could see them going edge here. Whether it's Myles Murphy or Nolan Smith or Lucas Van Ness if he falls down here, right? And so going by speed, we haven't done it yet. Let's take Nolan Smith. Georgia guy, lightning fast at the combine. Blew it out of the water.
So I will add this too. I'm just looking at this. If for the sake of argument, we're going to say, all right, top 5 fastest tackles and top 5 fastest guards instead of just position.
Yep.
Darnell Wright's the 5th fastest tackle. So he would be eligible.
Interesting.
So maybe there's more tackles than we think. I like the idea of moving up in the 2nd round. Do you want to go Nolan Smith here?
Yeah, Nolan Smith.
All right, I'm going to take Nolan Smith. Tell us about Nolan Smith, Mike, and then we're going to slow it down a little bit. Tell us about Nolan Smith.
So speed-wise, ran a 4.39 at, I want to say he was,
it's like 250, I think, right?
Yeah, at 250. Just
hang on, I should have it here.
Yeah.
238, 6'2", 238, ran a 4.3 something.
Like just lightning speed on the edge for Georgia, for the Bulldogs, obviously. Just another integral part of that defense. 2-time national champion. Just a monster. And again, a guy who was probably like a day 2 pick. I don't want to say day 3 because he probably wouldn't have made it that far. But a guy who like really, really helped himself with his testing numbers at the combine. And clearly because we're considering taking him at 17. I've seen him mocked at like 12. I've seen him mocked in the top 10 to Atlanta. And so where's Atlanta pick?
8.
Yeah, I've seen him at 8. So, like, a guy who completely jump-started his NFL career with an unbelievable combine, including that 4.39 40. And so...
I will point out a couple things here, though, before we lock pick in. I didn't notice this. Somebody in chat points out, Darnell Wright's gone. So, if we want an elite tackle based on our board, it's Anton Harrison. That's it.
Yeah.
After him, we're done. There's a lot of good day 2 edge guys on that list. Again, our
Is
edge
Cansey gone? No. Kansas City.
but our edge group, we got Byron Young, we got Adibare, we got DJ Johnson later on, we've got Yasir Abdullah. There are good edge guys later on. I will say to the people in the chat mentioning Miles Murphy, it's not on our board. Can't take it. Didn't test top 5.
Too slow.
Combine. I think the pick actually might be Anton Harrison here.
Really?
Yeah. For the same logic we just talked about at corner. We're going to have other chances at edge guys.
Yeah, but we can take Blake Freeland later. We can take Blake Freeland later too.
But I think we risk losing him. Because in the past it's like, all right, well, we'll take Blake Freeland, but if we lose him, we can take Tyler Steen, or we can't. Right? This is it. Unless you want to take, there was one other tackle on the list. I forget who it was, but it was like a day 3 guy.
Jordan McFadden.
Yeah.
Yeah, Braden Daniels.
If Braden Daniels, who's probably a guard, like if we miss on Blake Freeland, there's nobody. If we miss on the edge, we have a bunch of guys.
We're drafting like we're the Patriots, right?
Right.
Tackle is not a need according to them.
That's true.
Tackle's not a need. They like what they're doing. They like
their group.
Putting it together like a puzzle. You look at the edge as well. Drafting a year in advance, right? Uche.
Yeah.
He's going into a contract. This is his contract year. They're probably not going to re-sign him, especially if they bring in Nolan Smith. Yeah. I want to take the risk at tackle.
All right.
Let's draft Nolan Smith.
Maybe you trade Josh Uche for Jared Judy. That's another conversation. All right. Mike wants Nolan Smith. We're taking Nolan Smith with the 17th overall pick. The speed draft is off and running. Probably it would have been weird to start the speed draft with a lineman.
Yeah, it would have.
It objectively would have been weird.
We're going to quickly stop the draft again, Alex, because we're going to talk about FanDuel. I got to talk about FanDuel because not only are we talking football and the draft is here, but baseball is also back. Grand slams, no-hitters, and double plays. There's no better place to get in on the MLB action than FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook and the official partner of Major League Baseball. New customers in mass can get on the action with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/Boston, and you can bet on all your favorite sports from the money line, the point spread, to player props, and more. The app is super easy, safe, and secure. They have promos every single day. Basketball, I think there was a UFC one a couple weeks ago that I won on. So, they're just always boosting odds for you to get the most out of your money. And you can do it with those $200 in bonus bets. So don't miss your chance to get those $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. All you got to do is visit FanDuel.com/Boston and make every moment more. FanDuel is the official partner of Major League Baseball.
All right,
we're back.
So, I paused at the end of the first round because I really like this trade up into the second thing. Board did not fall for us at tackle. Anton Harrison went. I thought maybe we move up, get him here. Mm-hmm. However, here's who's gone for corners so far. Christian Gonzalez went, obviously. Devin Witherspoon went. Deontay Banks went shortly after we picked. Emmanuel Forbes. I know Joey Porter was in there. There's Joey Porter. So we have a lot of interesting options here. We have Keely Ringo, Darius Rush are both day 2 picks. And look, I feel like if we're going to do the speed draft, we should consider at least the fastest guy at the combine in DJ Turner, who could go here as well. So
agreed.
I'm not opposed to letting this run, and kind of when we need to move up for corner, we move up from a corner. We could also move up for Jahmyr Gibbs again, because he did run the second fastest 40 at the combine among running backs. Who else is there for day 2 guys on our board? I mean, Marvin Mims, Byron Young could be a guy. Also, honestly, if we're going to move up, though, I like Adibare. I really like Adibare. And then I think
the Illinois safeties, maybe.
Yeah, we can get them later. That's like, yeah, we can get them later. So I like moving up for Adibare here. I'm not opposed to moving up for Gibbs. We could obviously move up for one of the corners. Maybe should we just see how it plays out and see what happens?
See who we can grab at corner 46. I think that makes the most sense.
Okay, so we've done the second round trade up a lot. And there's a reason. They've done it the last 5 years, but I'm not going to say we're totally going to let it go by the wayside here, because I'm going to watch this because I want to land one of the corners on this list. I don't want them all to go, because frankly, if they all go, here's where they're all projected. Second, early day 3, first, top 50 second. And Ja'Cory Bennett, I think, goes higher in PFF. We don't get a corner here. I don't think we're getting a corner. I don't think we're going to have one on our board.
Right.
So, all right, let's see. Let's see what happens here. And I bet it's going to start with
Cam
corners.
Smith.
Yep. Cam Smith, Keely Ringo.
Ringo. Right. Stop.
Now I'm scared. Now I'm scared. So
call Josh. Call Josh and
our cornerback board that's left is Darius Rush and DJ Turner. So we can afford to let it go one more corner if we want that decision made for us. Or we can move up now.
I think we can make a call with why am I blanking on the Raiders GM now?
Ziegler.
Yeah, I think we can call Dave, make something happen.
All right, so it's the famous Christian Barmore trade, second for a second and 2/4.
Is hold on, don't click offer yet. Is 2/4 steep to move up only 8 spots?
You know what? They're higher fourths than they used to be. You might be right. We could probably get away with one.
Yeah.
Actually, I think you're right. Although that's going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's going to leave us with 11 picks, but maybe we make 11 picks tonight. We'll see. But all right, that's a good point. Let's make the trade. And we making the trade?
Yeah, make it.
Okay. Cool. All right. So here we are.
All right, corner.
So we basically have 2 options, I think. Yeah, we have 2 options. DJ Turner from Michigan or Darius Rush from South Carolina. Those are again, if you're joining us late, the way this works, what we're doing tonight, it's a special sort of experiment here. And Terrell Smith is a good comment. Terrell Smith is one of the most slept on corners in the draft. I said this the other day on the radio, but he's not on our board tonight because the way we're doing this is we can only take players who ran top 5 at their position in the 40. You have 6 fastest 40 at your position. You're not on our board tonight. So I actually like Rush better than Turner personally, but
so do I.
The whole purpose of this exercise, Mike, they drafted not one of the fastest running backs last year, the fastest, not one of the fastest receivers, the fastest. They love Michigan.
Yep.
And we're doing a speed draft.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer. It's got to be DJ Turner.
He ran the fastest 40 at the whole combine, right?
Yeah, 4.26. Yep. Yeah, and that's why if we're doing a draft based on 40s, we should grab the fastest.
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
And we're on back-to-back Michigan here. Seattle took Maisie Smith, which, by the way, makes just an insane ton of sense.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, PFF nails one. That's one of them.
Yeah. So DJ Turner.
DJ Turner in the second round. Now, Mike, this is where you got to hold, and maybe we move up. Hang on, before I make this pick.
Yeah.
We got Bergeron, Mock, Wanya Morris, Tyler Steen, Okay, so there's some tackles. Remember, there's only one we can take.
Freeland, yeah.
This
Freeland's
is where
you go by 76.
So maybe we move up. We have that extra pick. Yeah. Maybe we move up. But we're going to take DJ Turner here, the fastest player from the combine. We are adding speed.
Yes.
And Jahmyr Gibbs, the next pick.
Wow, okay. There
goes Adibare. Would have liked him. All right, still no tackles. Oh, there goes Bergeron. What else do we got? Any more tackles? No more tackles in the second round. Mike,
are we going to land Blake Freeland at 76?
There goes Jalen Duncan. Oh! There it is.
Here we go.
There it is.
See?
Blake
I told
Freeland,
you.
Come on down.
It's too easy.
So, look, Freeland, I don't know that he's exactly what the Patriots need. I think he's raw. He needs to add serious muscle to his frame. He's 6'8", but he's 308. Yeah. Leverage is going to be an issue for him. He needs to be stronger. By the way, it's a Felger and Maz big board pick.
Alrighty.
Yeah. The comp is Nate Solder. It's kind of easy, but that's what it is. The comp is Nate Solder, at least coming out. Now, Nate Solder worked really hard to become the player he was. You hope Blake Freeland does the same thing, but they are going to like him. He's got swing tackle potential. He's an experienced player. He's played multiple years, started multiple years. He's got good athleticism for the position, all of that. They're going to like Blake Freeland. And just remind everybody what our tackle board looks like right now. It is Broderick Jones, who went, Anton Harrison, who went, and Braden Daniels, who's like a late day 3 depth player.
Right.
So this is what the board suggests. This is what the board tells Blake Freeland. Now, I didn't see if, since we're doing this and we're handcuffing ourselves, we might not respect the board as much as we usually do. And I want to see who falls here, because we could make a very interesting pick. But take Blake Freeland, 76.
Again, I mentioned it earlier in the show when I talked you off the tackle ledge with Harrison, but like they're okay at tackle. So they don't need a guy to come in and start this year, according to what I think they are thinking anyway, right?
So that's how I'd phrase that. Not they're okay at tackle. They think they're okay at tackle. Or they at least think higher of their tackle situation than we do. Okay. Now, I came on the show last week and I threw a little bit of a fit when people got mad at me for not taking wide receiver high enough.
Yeah.
But I did say in that whole rant, which I was dragged for, and some of it was fair, there is one receiver I really like for them on day 2.
Marvin Mims.
And that is Marvin Mims from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know that this is entirely respecting the board. But we took a lot of players off the board for us tonight.
Yeah, we did. We took a lot of players off the board. And if we want to talk about, PFF adjusts accordingly. Like, with
they don't.
rumors.
No, they don't.
A little bit.
No,
like,
I remember 2 years ago. So Jamin Davis is the reason respect the board is a thing.
Fair.
Jamin Davis would be on the board in like the 6th round up until like the night before the draft. And I don't think he went in the 1st round, but he went top 50. So
yeah, I think he was like an early day 2 pick because he went to Washington. Yeah, but what I'm saying though is like sometimes you'll see like odds change when Stroud, for example, was the clear-cut number 1 when Carolina made the trade, right? Most of the time Stroud would go 1. You'd get Bryce in there, you'd get Richardson. Same thing with Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith's 40 goes, he all of a sudden turns into a top 15 pick. So they're kind of on top of it as far as their algorithm goes. So could Mims be at 80? Maybe. That's just the way the board falls sometimes. There's different runs in different years.
Yeah. I would say so. I don't think this is disrespecting the board, but it is.
We can't take A.T. Perry.
Thank you,
guys. We can't take A.T. Perry.
We can't take A.T. Perry. Didn't run.
Sorry.
He didn't run a good 40 like at all. I don't know what his 40 was, but it wasn't good. This is probably his floor. At this point, we would say he fell. I don't think it's unrealistic. We'd be, I went a little later. By the way, A.T. Perry ran a 4.47. So that is, I'm not counting all of these live on the air, but it's somewhere between 15th and 20th fastest. He came nowhere near our board for our stipulations tonight, which if you're joining late, we are only taking players, just as an experiment, we are only taking players that finished top 5 in their combine time. So a reminder to everybody of our wide receiver board. And look, we could pass on receiver here and have some options. Trey Palmer and Bryce Ford-Wheaton with our next pick would certainly make sense. We got Darius Davis, Matt Landers later on. Maybe we double up. But I really like Marvin Mims. I don't think we've picked him for them. Some people asking what the 40 times are, by the way. I probably should have been reading that since that's the draft we're doing. We ran Nolan Smith's. We said Nolan Smith's was a 4.39. 4.26 was DJ Turner, and he was the fastest at his position. Nolan Smith was the fastest at his position. Blake Freeland was the 3rd fastest at his position by 0.2 of a second. He ran by 1/10 of a second. Sorry, that was a tie. He ran a 4.98. Him and Anton Harrison were a 1/10 of a second behind Broderick Jones. So, like the other things we could go here, we could go edge, but there are actually some day 3 edge guys I really like that are on our board. And again, if you want to follow along with the board, it's on the top of my Twitter right now at Real Alex Barth. It's pinned back in the chat as well. I posted the link to the tweet, but I think the pick is Mims here. I really like Marvin Mims. I think he plays bigger than he's listed. I think he plays faster than he tested. Believe it or not, or I say more agile than he tested. I think the straight line speed's there, but I love his hands. There's no ball he can't get to. He's like a sneaky downfield threat. People are going to pigeonhole him as a slot receiver because of his size. I don't think he's a slot receiver. He's not the route runner. Right. He is a deep threat. I've compared him to David Patton. I was on Andrew Callahan's podcast earlier today. That'll drop tomorrow. He brought up Philip Dorsett, which isn't a bad comp. I just think Mims has much better hands. I think outside of that, they're kind of similar, but I really like wherever Marvin Mims goes, he's going to be the guy that everybody missed in this draft.
You talk about hands too, and like you think of smaller guys who project out as slot guys as guys who sort of might have T-Rex arms and aren't going to go up and get a football. That's not Marvin Mims. Marvin Mims goes up and gets the ball. He is, like you said, not only does he have not only are his hands magnets, but he's like aggressive in ball tracking too. So I think you're right. I think that's a guy who you could look back on this in 2 or 3 years and say, how did he drop all the way to 80?
Right. How did he go below Tank Dell? How did he go below Rashee Rice? How did he go below
Quentin Johnston?
Pretty much it. Yeah. Is Quentin Johnston on the board? No. All right. So Marvin Mims is the pick here. And that rounds it. Mike, why don't you recap our top 100 for the people here before we get back to it?
All right, here we go. Round 1, we traded pick 14. We traded back 3 spots to 17 or 18? 15, 16, 17.
17, Steelers, 17.
Okay, cool. So picked up Nolan Smith, edge from Georgia. Fastest edge guy, like you said, ran a what did he run, a 4.39? We talked about it like 3 times. Yeah, it's not in my head already. Ran a 4.39.
It would have been an elite time for wide receiver, and he ran it as a
exactly
defensive end, essentially.
Right. We then traded up to pick 38 and grabbed DJ Turner, the fastest player at the combine from Michigan, 5'11" corner who, again, not the tallest, I guess, but would add a little bit of more size considering, what we're working with anyway in that room. And like I said, is the fastest guy at the combine. So makes up for that speed, makes up for the size with the speed. We then took Blake Freeland, a project tackle from BYU, and just grabbed Marvin Mims, wide receiver from Oklahoma. Again, we are going with speed here. I don't know if you guys are just joining us. We sort of just explained that, but we took the top 5 fastest guys at each position, and we are only allowed to draft them. So that is where we're at.
I think too, we maybe call this like the Al Davis Memorial mock draft or the Darius Hayward Day edition of the mock draft, right? Yeah. That's how the Raiders drafted for years.
Yes.
All right, we're back on the board at 107.
Yep.
And this is kind of where we can go wherever. So running back, I got to remind myself what our running back board is. Devin Achane is gone. Jahmyr Gibbs is gone. I think Keaton Mitchell's still there. Deneric Prince and Chase Brown. So Keaton Mitchell is still there. Is Deneric Prince still here? Yeah, Deneric Prince is going to be there, and Chase Brown. So we have 107 and 135. So we probably, unless we really like Brown or Mitchell, we probably don't need to go running back here.
No.
A lot of people in the chat are pointing out Schoonmaker and Kuntz are both on the board here. Mm-hmm. Would make a ton of sense.
Yeah.
As I've said, I would really like to go edge here. I got to remind myself of our edge group. It is
Nolan Smith, Byron Young, Robert Beal.
Yeah, so Young's probably gone. I like Robert Beal. We can get him later. I like DJ Johnson. We can get him later. I like Sierra Abdullah. We can get him later. All right, maybe we wait on that. I will say, what do we have for defensive tackles?
What about quarterbacks, Alex?
All our quarterbacks are late day 3 guys. Duggan, Cunningham, DTR too.
Yeah.
For defensive tackles, Canty, Redmond, Stills, Brzee, Dexter. So yeah, at this point we're waiting for Redmond and Stills. They'll come later on. Mm-hmm. The one other thing I wouldn't rule out here, Mike, do we double up at corner? Can we double up at corner? We could. We could take Jacorian Bennett.
Yeah, we could. Everyone else is gone, right? That's our last option.
Jacorian Bennett's the last guy left. Yep. So, I feel like we should take multiple offensive linemen just because it's the speed draft and people will be confused.
Yes.
Who are the other guards that wouldn't be on our board? So we have McFadden. We have John Gaines. John Gaines ran a top 5 guard 40. So it's McFadden, Gaines, City So from Eastern Michigan. We're off the charts when I don't even know who it is.
Yeah, right.
And Anthony Bradford. All right, so we have some guards.
We have some room to take guards later too. So
we could. People are pointing out 2 in the chat. Jartavius Martin is a guy as well we could go to here. I do like Jordan Howden. I'm fine waiting on safety. What do you think, Mike?
I'm gravitating towards tight end. I'm also thinking Keaton Mitchell from ECU too. This is a spot where they could take a running back.
This is totally a spot where they would take a running back. Why Mitchell over Brown?
I don't know. I just kind of like the skill set a little bit, and I also think that we're thinking about pick 107. Yeah, I would think we would take Mitchell here where we could take Brown later. So if we need a guy at 107, we go Mitchell. And then we can grab somebody else down the board later. Just thinking about the top 5 thing we got going here.
I mean, the one thing I would say is if we miss on Kuntz and Schoonmaker, Will Mallory's it. If we miss on Kuntz and Schoonmaker, we can maybe get Will Mallory later, but we might be done with tight ends at that point.
But I think Mallory we're going to be able to grab later.
Okay, so you want Will Mallory then? It's the speed.
No, not now.
Okay.
Why? Who do you want?
I kind of want to go Kuntz or Schoonmaker here.
All right, do it.
I think it makes a lot of sense. There's so much depth at those other positions.
Yeah.
The only other position where we're really going to lose, I guess we might lose out on Ja'Cory and Bennett, but we already took a corner. The only positions we're really going to lose out are running back. And I actually like Deneric Prince a little bit. I'm fine if we go with our final running back on our board. All right. Since I'm kind of taking command here.
Prince or Brown, so.
Okay. Who do you want, Kuntz or Schoonmaker? I think we got to go Zach Kuntz, right?
See, so I was going the opposite. I'm thinking too much, I guess, in a Patriots lens because Shrine Bowl, blocking tight end versus
that's true.
Not strictly a receiver, but Kuntz needs help a little bit more, I say.
So I guess the question is, how much do we want to make the speed draft about speed? Because it falls off at tight end. Kuntz ran a 4.55, Laporta ran a 4.59, Musgrave 4.61, Schoonmaker 4.63. How much do you want to make the speed draft about speed? No, but you know what? I kind of like that. Let's get a well-rounded player. We've really just focused on burners, right? We went with DJ Turner over Darius Rush. Let's go the other way now. I like that. Right. Let's go with Luke Schoonmaker. People are going to be surprised he ran. Actually, no, I want to double check before we make this pick. People are going to be surprised he ran a top 540. He did. Yes, he beat Darnell Washington by 100th of a second.
All right.
Even Darnell Washington, Mike.
It's too bad.
All right.
He's going to be a Patriot. He has to be.
Luke Schoonmaker, yeah.
No, Darnell Washington too.
Darnell Washington, yeah. Well, not according to 40. I know. Let's take Luke Schoonmaker here. All right. Yeah. Now, I would love it if Ja'Cory and Bennett falls. I don't think he will. He didn't. Looks like a lot of these. Okay. I think the running backs fell. I like going running back here, Mike. Okay. And we still have Chase Brown. We still have Keaton Mitchell. So Chase Brown is a bigger guy. I'm curious what they have him listed at. Yeah. 5'9", 209. Speed's not the first thing that comes to mind when you think of his game. Keaton Mitchell, on the other hand.
Yes.
5'8", 179, pure burner.
Yeah.
I like Chase Brown because I think he kind of is your Damian Harris replacement. I actually could see him in that role. So
works for me.
I mean, make your pitch for Mitchell, but
no, that sort of was my pitch, right? The guy who, I mean, we're thinking speed. I'm thinking burner. I'm thinking, another quick guy, but he's also not a carbon copy by any means, but he reminds me of Pierre Strong. Smaller, quick guy, receiving back type of replacement for James White. But they just lost Damian Harris and they have James Robinson. And so they're going to want a guy who's going to be able to spell Ramondre moving forward. And so I think Chase Brown makes more sense here.
I think Brown gives you a little something different. Yeah. So we're going to take him. And by the way, people are saying this draft's stupid. You never know what's going to hit. This will probably be the most accurate one of all the ones we've done. We will do a final mock draft on Tuesday. So don't worry. Right. We're not leaving you with this one if you really hate it. All right. I'm going to take Chase Brown, and then I'm going to let it run a little bit because right now we have 11 picks. We don't have a 5th round pick, and the 5th round is the special teams round.
Yes.
All right, that's just happened to be where I paused it. And the Vikings need picks. This is perfect.
All right. So we're going to go get Michael Turk, aren't we?
Yes, of course. Yeah. We're going to package 2 of these 6 rounds together. All right, we're going to package 2 of these 6 rounders together, and we are going to move up. There it is. And I mean, there's only 2 special teams guys we can take. You thought I was going to do the speed draft and not take a specialist? Right. Come on now. Michael Turk ran the fastest 40 of all of the 2 specialists that ran at the combine. None of the kickers ran. 1 long snapper ran, and then Michael Turk ran a 4.83. So there you go. All right. So Michael Turk is the pick. All right. Now, so I'd still like to get one of those guards. Maybe we double up on wide receiver here. Right?
Yep. Sorry, I'm updating our board on the doc, so don't mind me.
Maybe we go quarterback, but let me pull up that offensive line 40 times again. So it's McFadden.
We're at 184 or 180. Oh,
187. We traded 184. McFadden, Gaines, and Bradford. Some of these guys go. Wow, we missed the boat on the guards, Mike.
All right.
Gaines went a couple picks ago. Who's the other guy I liked there?
Anthony Bradford.
Bradford went. Wow. Did he go? Let's see him.
Is he listed as a tackle?
No, he went. So I want to get in. They're going to come away with 2 linemen. They're going to come away with an interior offensive lineman. This is the last lineman we can take, Mike.
Okay.
this is part of the reason you do mock drafts. You learn about players. Let's see. City So from
All right,
Eastern
let's
Michigan.
talk about him. Let's
Second time we've taken an Eastern Michigan player.
Yes, Jose
3
Ramirez.
years. 3-year starter at left guard, 6'5", 323, 25 years old. Yeah, that's Patriot. I don't know how I missed this guy. This is Patriot. I'm sold.
Is he a Patriot this early? We can't afford to wait on him, can we?
Here, sometimes it's the way it works. I know this sounds ridiculous when I'm saying, hey, this is the last guard we can take. And, because we're doing this board, we can only take 5 players at each position, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. But not to this extent, but teams may look at it and say, yeah, we're reaching for this. This is basically what happened with Cole Strange last year. We know we're probably reaching for this guy, but our board falls off so much after this. We'd rather reach now than end up with the lesser player. Now, I would argue that they had Cole Strange too high on their board, but that's another conversation.
Yes.
This is sort of how it works in the room.
Yeah.
So I also think, what was his 40? He ran a 5.07 at 6'5", 323. That's pretty good.
Wait. And that's top 5 for guard?
That is,
okay.
It's 5. McFadden, Gaines. Oh, no, it's third. Third, sorry.
Wow. Okay.
Third for guard. So guards aren't fast. Not fast.
Yeah, I guess, but.
All
right.
All right.
City Sal, interior offensive lineman from Eastern Michigan.
You never know what you're going to learn. All right. And we have another pick coming up in a second here. We have two more
picks coming up.
I am not opposed to taking a quarterback here.
Let's reset the board so we can figure out what we need.
Let's reset the board. Yeah, let's reset the board.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Nolan Smith, DJ Turner, Blake Freeland, Marvin Mims, Luke Schoonmaker, Chase Brown, Michael Turk, City South. So offense, special, offense. We need a defender. We need another defender. We went defense the first 2 picks, and then we went all offense and a specialist since then. So I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm muted. Sorry. I was drinking water.
No, you're good.
Let's see who's here, but I think I know who I want to take. All our corners are gone. We know that.
Yeah.
We've established that. So, and to remind us of just kind of the groups here, I think Jordan Howden should still be here for Minnesota safety. Like him. Yasir Abdullah might still be here, and Dante Stills might still be here.
Is Abdullah top 5? I don't think he is.
Abdullah's top 5. Yeah. Top 5. He had.
Okay. I got him.
Because of the way they do it. He's not top 5 edge, but he's top 5 linebacker because I just used the way that I used how the combine classified.
That's why I missed him.
That's also why Brian Branch isn't on here because he technically ran as a corner, not a safety. Would have been top 5 safety. I don't know that we would have taken him anyway, but.
Yeah, I know.
So I think
we have Jordan 2 picks left.
Yeah. I think if Jordan Howden's here, we take him. He is.
Okay.
So Jordan Howden played for them at the Shrine Bowl, played that deep safety role, had really good speed, really good field awareness, hard hitter, can play some corner as well. They're going to really like him. The other guy would be, do we take Dante Stills? If he's still here, he is.
He's probably going to be there at the next pick, 245 too, I think. And
he might be, yeah.
Stand on quarterback.
Yeah. You want to take Howden?
Yeah.
All right, let's take
They still need safeties. They need safeties.
I know Brandon Hill's ranked higher. There's a reason the Patriots don't draft guys from Pitt, especially in the secondary. They coach their secondary in a very specific way. Those guys are scheme specific. Yep. Hill does some things well, but it's going to be a big adjustment from coming to New England. Whereas a guy like Jordan Howden has already played in the Patriots defense. It was only at the Shrine Bowl, but he's played in the Patriots defense. So we're going to take Jordan Howden here and hope that Dante Stills falls. We will see. He might not.
And if he doesn't,
it's kind of close. We'll take a look. There goes Will Mallory. Yeah. Okay. Dante Stills went.
Okay. So the other thing I think of here now, pick 245, speed, Malik Cunningham. Worked out with the Patriots. Quarterback, obviously. A guy who they could also, in theory, wait for him at this point, wait for him to be an undrafted free agent and probably just take a flyer on him. That way, you don't have to give him guarantee money. But that could make some sense here. They visited with him a few weeks ago. That's a big project guy. That's a guy who is really, people compare him to Lamar Jackson which is crazy. Not really
He's
compared.
not the passer Lamar Jackson.
He's not the
He
passer
followed him at
Lamar is.
Louisville.
Exactly. And so that could be an option here, but I also think if they're going to take him, they're not going to take him at 245. They're going to take their shot at a UDFA.
Yeah, there's actually a guy here I think is a great fit for the Patriots. And I haven't talked about him as much during the pre-draft process as I wanted to coming in. And that's, you see him on the board there, Robert Beal from Georgia. He checks a ton of Patriots type boxes. Very explosive edge player. Obviously comes from a pedigree program in Georgia. But the thing I really like, the Patriots, this is one of the draft strategies I've seen them use in the past. And it's worked to varying degrees. It's how they got J.C. Jackson. It's also how they got, what was his name? The guy from Auburn, the defensive tackle that just couldn't hang around in 2019.
They drafted him?
Yeah, and I don't know why I'm blanking on his name right now. It's that time of year. I called Cedric Tillman Charles again on Andrew's podcast. Byron Cowart.
Oh, there you go.
Byron Cowart.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
They will go back and look at the high school classes, right? They'll go back and look at the high school classes and see, okay, well, who was, projected high in this class that maybe didn't pan out for one reason or another. And, clearly they were projected high for a reason.
Right.
And
there's some intangibles there that they can work with. Maybe,
maybe. Yeah. And you're taking, they don't do this high in the draft. They do this later on. Like, why can't I do names right now? The receiver from Maryland.
Well, I go back to Matt Castle when I think about
so
that.
Matt Castle was one. This is gonna kill me. Rakim Jarrett's another one. So Beal in the 2017 class was ranked as an outside linebacker ahead of, honestly, a lot of the guys in this draft. And then he went to Georgia and he struggled to crack the pass rush rotation. When he was on the field, he showed some flashes, but he couldn't get a lot of playing time. Now, I'm not going to get it holded against the guy that couldn't crack the pass rush rotation at Georgia the last 2 years. It's all first round.
Our first round pick was Nolan Smith, the guy who played alongside him, but not alongside, but in that rotation.
Right. Exactly. So, I just look at it and I think that there's still upside there. They're going to like him. They like this Georgia program. Yep. I think he'd make a lot of sense for them here. I don't know if you want to pitch anybody else, but that would be my pitch.
No, my pitch was really Cunningham if we wanted to go quarterback. But I saw it in the chat too. They have Trace McSorley now. So they kind of have their guy who they might want to try and mold into something if they have to. Or just another camp arm, right? So they have McSorley. McSorley's going to be their camp arm. So, let's roll with Beal.
All right. I was trying to pull up the rankings and 24/7 just doesn't load sometimes. All right. Robert Beal's the pick.
Yep. And that's the draft.
All right, Mike, hit us with it.
Today. The
Patriots are faster.
They are faster today than they were yesterday.
Yes.
Nolan's bookends with edge rushers from Georgia. First one's Nolan Smith.
Hang on. Here's a really good one in the chat for next year. I love this. For the qualifier draft, only 5-star high school recruits.
We got to bookmark that.
I might do this on my own. Put it on Twitter.
Do it.
Somebody brought up Matt Landers, who would qualify for both, the receiver from Arkansas. If we had one more pick, I might have said double up at receiver.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea. Thank you for that. This might be a thing.
Yeah, I like that.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. Anyway, there we have. Nope, you're good. Nolan Smith, edge, Georgia.
Yeah.
DJ Turner, the fastest guy at the combine, cornerback from Michigan. Blake Freeland. So we hit those three tent poles with wide receiver, tackle, corner in our first 4 picks.
What if I told you this is the best PFF grade we've gotten all year doing this?
Really?
Yeah. It was a C.
I mean,
PFF hates reasonable drafts. But
yeah, that's fair.
And by the way, that should also tell you how PFF does their grades. It's very, very, very heavy on athletic testing.
But this is a decent draft. You put some stipulation on it, but it still could make sense for them. I mean, it looks fast, but the guys that are there, I mean, look, Marvin Mims, Luke Schoonmaker, Chase Brown, Michael Turner. This is a Patriots draft. It's a fast draft.
The only 2 picks here, I don't think we would have, this could have totally been our draft. The only 2 picks are Sidney Sal. I don't think we make, and Chase Brown's the only other one where I'm like, yeah, we did that because it was a speed draft. The rest of the guys happen to be fast, but they're guys we've talked about a lot before. They're guys we like. It's some guys we've
100%.
taken before, right? Not that far off from what we usually do. Maybe the approach was, right? Nolan Smith in the first round. I don't know if we do that without the prompt, but
right, that's fair.
It's not super off the grid.
But again, you never know. We like when we talked about it in the first round, if they're thinking draft for next year and you don't want to pay Uche and you expect him to have a good year, maybe they use him as trade bait. Maybe they trade back, grab something else, take Nolan Smith, get rid of Uche, and then you cook from there. You work from there. That's not out of the realm. I don't think they'll take him at 14, but if they trade back in the second half of the first round, I could see Nolan Smith.
By the way, I just realized we went 2 from Georgia, 2 from Michigan, 2 from Oklahoma, hammered the Big Ten, and then went with Sidney Sowers from a Big Ten state. I don't know. Schools on this one are very interesting.
Yeah,
it wasn't on purpose.
But there you have it. That is 7.0. The speed draft.
And an interesting one at that. So I get that maybe people didn't love it, but this, I think enough people have fun when we do this each year that we can keep doing it. So
I think so too. It's something different. And again, it's not completely unrealistic. It's not like we just we're only taking quarterbacks or we're only taking wide receivers. Like they could actually do this.
So the craziest one we did, it was the first year when I said we did those like conference only. We also did one where I took the sliders and put them up to like, don't draft for team need, only use the public board, as much variation as possible. I think we got Trevor Lawrence in like the 5th round in that draft. That one, I get why people hate it. There was no reason. You want to do it real quick? Here?
Oh my God. Yeah, why not?
We got some time.
Pull it up.
All right. Yeah. So
rapid fire.
Hang on. I got to share this again. This is going to be very rapid fire. It's going to be a nonsense draft. Again, nonsense draft.
All right.
Can you see it? Is it up there?
Yeah. Not yet. I'm pulling it up now. Now that we're doing this off the cuff, I'm thinking about how busy our next week is going to be with the draft, and we're going to have a bunch of shows again, and we might start laughing at crazy foods again at some point next week.
Oh, don't bring that up. All right, we're going to go fully on the PFF board. Nobody's caring about positional value. Nobody's drafting for needs. We're cranking the randomness all the way up, and here we go. Let's see what this looks like. All right, so we have Anthony Richardson. The beginning isn't that weird. It was much weirder last time we did this. I said if Anthony Richardson falls to 14, you take Anthony Richardson. So, all right, we're taking Anthony Richardson. We're not going to trade. I just want to see what happens here. Andre Carter in the first round. Andre Carter in 22.
Oh boy.
All right, we should. All right, so Zay's here. Do we want to get Anthony Richardson somebody to block for him or somebody to catch him the ball?
I got to look at the board. Sorry, I was pulling up comments.
Oh, sorry. Darnell Wright or Zay Flowers? I don't think none of the other top tackles. Darnell, Zay Flowers. All right. We're going to get Zay Flowers at 46.
Sure.
Yes. We're respecting the hell out of the board.
Yes.
And look at that.
Darnell Wright.
The 76. Wouldn't you know it? Okay. Yeah, we're cruising now. We are cruising, Mike.
Perfect. All right. Who's around? Right. Go to quarterback.
We got Anthony Richardson. But like Lucas Van Ness is still here. Look, I don't like Lucas Van Ness in the first round. He's a situational player. At 107, or do we draft Jordan Addison and fully build around Anthony Richardson? Actually,
who else is there at corner?
Darnell Washington isn't here. That would have been fun.
Yeah, corner.
Julius Brents is still here. Keely Ringo's still here. Do we go Keely Ringo?
Yeah, go with Ringo. 107.
All right, we're going to go Keely Ringo. Maybe we'll get another receiver later on. Let's see here. Lucas Van Ness still here. So is Josh Downs. I want to get
Jordan Addison.
Jordan Addison. Let's go Lucas Van Ness. Let's get we should get a pass rusher. We should get a pass rusher. He's fallen far enough at this point that we can justify the pick. Who else do you want to double up at corner? What haven't we taken? Shamir Gibbs still here? Oh, he's not. All the running backs. The running back board's actually about right. Yeah. What have we taken? Go to tight end. I think the tight end board went about right too. Yeah, tight end board went about right too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is Jordan Addison still there?
I think Jordan Addison is still here. No, he's not.
Oh, it's
Josh Downs is. But
Julius Brents is there as well.
Who do we got at safety? I mean, Jamie Robinson would be a fun pick here. Who do we got?
I think you got to go Josh Downs. Josh Downs.
All right, we'll go try. We're building this thing around Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
We're just. I do
Now
want
we
to
should
add some more
trade Mac
defense.
Jones. We should trade Mac Jones.
No, we're not going that nonsense. We're not going that nonsense.
Hashtag Team Mac.
Derek Hall. People got mad a couple weeks ago because we took Derek Hall. They said we weren't respecting the board. We took him too late.
Yeah.
Boom. Derek Hall. Our edge is loaded. What haven't we taken? We haven't taken a running back. Who's still here for running backs? Tank Bigsby. Tank Bigsby's a top 100 pick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go with Tank Bigsby there. We got one more pick. You know what? Like, I know this is a nonsense draft. We should be swinging big. And I know I've pushed back. They don't need a center. David Andrews is 2 more years. Joe Tippmann's a pretty good player. I think at this point, you're getting good value in Joe Tippmann.
Who's there a tight end? Let's round it out with a tight end.
Hang on. You know what? Yeah, I'll trade back here. Hang on. You know what? Because we don't have the Falcons pick because it doesn't give it to you.
Oh, yeah.
So let me get that. Let me get the Jonnu Smith pick. Who's here at tight end? Because I want to end this draft a certain way.
Okay.
I mean, we still got Tucker Kraft.
Yeah.
This is great value for Tucker Kraft.
All day.
Great value for Tucker Kraft, Mike. And then to round it out, we got to do it. Wow, a bunch of the kickers and punters went. Jake Moody's gone. All the kickers they're going to take are gone. All the cold weather kickers are gone.
Is there a long snapper? You got to take a long snapper.
No, we can take Adam Korsak.
All right, fine.
We'll overdraft one guy in this draft. How about that?
Yeah. What's the grade?
PFS going to give us a D. Why? I'll let people see the grade for this one. The C+ again for Adam Korsak. Boo!
That's hilarious. Everything else is an A+.
Everything else, yes. You want to see what an A+ draft looks like on PFF? There is your A+ draft. Enjoy.
Yeah. All right.
But all right, you got to have fun this time of year. You got to have fun. Enjoy that. Now, you let the hate comments flow about how pointless that was.
No, it was fun. It got us to an hour show, and so thank you all for joining us here on Patriots Beat for Mock Draft 7.0 and Mock Draft 7.5. The random sliders draft. We will be
that was an appropriate mock draft for today.
Totally. We have a jam-packed week next week. It is draft week. We're going to do a mock draft Tuesday. We're going to be back Thursday morning, Friday morning, and Sunday morning all next week to recap everything that happens from the Patriots lens at the NFL draft. So make sure to subscribe to the show, subscribe to Patriots Press Pass. We will be jam-packed with draft content all the way up until next week and beyond. Follow Alex on Twitter at RealAlexBarth for all of his draft-related content and Boston sports content as well. You can follow myself on Twitter at Mike Cadlick. Read all my Patriots stuff at CLNSmedia.com. Thank you for joining us. Again, we'll be back next week for a jam-packed week of Patriots NFL draft coverage. So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next week.